Hi. Took me a while to figure out a character to analyze because I'm very situation centric as a writer. I come up with the situation first and then I add characters in later. But I finally came up with Katniss Everdeen, the girl on fire from Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games series. I love dystopian fiction. I love the Hunger Games. I was able to read them all before the movie came out, so that was great that I didn't have that, because sometimes movies affect how you read a story afterwards. But anyhow, I read it all first. And what makes Katniss so compelling is, first off, Suzanne Collins does write in the first person, so we're privy to her thoughts, and also compellingly in the present tense. And I love that because, I can't write in the present tense to save my life. But because of the first person point of view, we don't see how others see her. We have her thoughts, but we can only learn her character through her actions, through her behaviors and her habits. Because the thoughts can only tell us so much about who she really is, because of course our thoughts are our own and sometimes they're skewed. I know my thoughts are skewed sometimes, but it's compelling to see her through her behaviors and her actions. If you're not familiar with the Hunger Games, it is about a country who has districts, and they send a tribute, a boy and a girl from each district, to fight in these Hunger Games to the death as recompense for an uprising, 75 years ago. So that's the compelling situation that you put this character in. And she's introduced to us in the beginning. We see how she's snuck outside the district illegally to hunt, to help feed her family because they're poor, and then she volunteers as tribute to save her sister from having to go to the Hunger Games. So we learn about her through these actions and through these behaviors. Her thoughts would never give us this kind of, it's her behaviors and her actions that we see. Because we can't see her, how other people view her. And that's what makes her unique, if anyone can be considered unique, because I'm unique just like everybody else. So unique's kind of an interesting word, but how she is unique in this story is that for the most part, she is totally unaware of how others perceive her. We're in her head and she's in her head, so she only knows what she thinks of herself. That's what's really unique about this story, is that dichotomy between who she thinks she is and who she is to others. And there's a good line from the second book, Catching Fire, where she says, "Because I'm selfish, I'm a coward. I'm the kind of girl who, when she might actually be of use, would run to stay alive and leave those who couldn't follow to suffer and die. This is the girl Gale met in the woods today. No wonder I won the games. No decent person ever does." You saved PETA, I thought weakly. But now I question even that. I knew good and well that my life back in District 12 would be unlivable if I let that boy die. So she doesn't see herself as others see her. She actually thinks she's selfish, and she's the most selfless. She makes that ultimate sacrifice at the beginning of the series to go into the deadly Hunger Games to save her sister. She's not selfish at all, and yet she thinks she is. And it's that dichotomy through the whole story, that difference between what she thinks of herself and how others see her. Even when she becomes the face of resistance, it's still that opposition. It's such a great, it's a very compelling character because of that dichotomy, because of that opposition between who she thinks she is and who she is to others. And we only get to know her as others see her through behaviors and actions, because her thoughts are totally different than that. So characterization is very important, because instead of telling us who Katniss is, and of course who she thinks she is the opposite, Collins has to leverage the way Katniss interacts with this fictional world to bond us to Katniss, to show us who she is in a whole different way that her thoughts never could. So anyhow, that's Katniss Everdeen.